So, you want to see something kind of pretty, right? So the sun's going down. I'm gonna take you around the Talkeetna Mountains there. There should be some some alpenglow on the tops of those mountains over there. And you go all the way around, and the moon is up. And some alpenglow on the Chugach too. There. So anyway, I'd like to go over a couple of things that I forgot yesterday when we're talking about the trade-offs and being tied down, right? So to your spot, right? So I have like a depending upon the weather, I have like a 4 to maybe 6 hour window when I leave the palace, right, before it actually starts to freeze up. And if your place freezes up, it takes a long time to get things unfrozen, right? And so if you're going out for a couple of days and it's below zero or whatever, and things in jars and stuff like that freeze and break. There's all kinds of things that you have to consider, right? In this time frame that you have to leave, right? So you got to kind of time your time trips, like if you're going into town, and it depends upon how far town is away, right? So it can take you, well, it takes me about in the winter about half hour to 45 minutes to get down to town, right? And so that's an hour and a half I need to think about in my time in town. So I can't stay down there very long, right? In the winter. And then there's too. So if you got neighbors and things like that to help you, if you get in trouble, that's awesome. But a lot of times you don't have that, and I don't have that. And a good example of trying to, what can happen is like I severed a tendon in my shoulder last fall, and partially tore 3 other tendons, and hauling logs up for my cabin, and I couldn't raise my arm but about like that or like that, right, for my right arm for a couple of months, right? So I had to figure out a way to get things done, right? So if you got a partner, that's a good thing. But I don't have a partner other than my dog, right? So you got to figure out a way to get things done, because you're on your own, right? and there are daily chores that have to be done, right? And if you don't do them, either flat out you could just die, right? That's the kind of the long and the short of it, right? So and then so I and back to the the places where you choose to live off grid is it a lot depends too upon whether you're living full time or it's a part-time kind of a cabin that you're going out to for a couple times in winter or a couple times in the summer, and so if you're living it you got to have a bit of a hard side, and that is no joke, right? You got to think about those things, and you got to plan ahead, right? So plan ahead for times that you cannot get out, for weeks on end, getting injured or getting sick, right? Those are things that have to be considered when you're going off grid, and well, at least doing it like I am, right? So I don't, you know, my off grid is a little, perhaps a little extreme, but you know, that's what I think a lot of folks kind of think that may be their dream, right? So there you go. Man, it got changed hats, right? So yeah, it got cold last night after I did the video yesterday. Oh, it dropped to sub-zero, and the Matanuska wind picked up, and oh man, did it go cold. It's like, jeez, that anywhere you go, there you are, right? And here I am. So stay tuned. I'll be shooting these videos and getting them out in the not so distant future. Cheers.